Hello and welcome to another exciting new episode of Talking About Stoicism. I had introduced our new author last week, and I think the time has come to look at Lucius Annaeus Seneca, his moral letters, or in this translation, the letters on ethics. We're using the translation by Margaret Graver and Anthony Long. It was not a super cheap book, but it has a lot of outstanding information, good introductory essays and notes and all kinds of stuff. So the book comes recommended. Okay, letter 1. Book 1, letter 1. Remember, these are all letters to Lucilius, and the first letter is not an incredibly long one, so we can do the whole letter in one video. From Seneca to Lucilius. Greetings. Do that, dear Lucilius, assert your own freedom. Gather and guard the time that until now was being taken from you, or was stolen from you, or that slipped away. Convince yourself that what I write is true. Some moments are snatched from us, some are filched, and some just vanish. But no loss is as shameful as the one that comes about through carelessness. Take a close look, and you will see that when we are not doing well, most of life slips away from us. When we are inactive, much of it, but when we are inattentive, we miss it all. Can you show me even one person who sets a price on his time, who knows the worth of a day, who realizes that every day is a day when he is dying? In fact, we are wrong to think that death lies ahead. Much of it has already passed us by. For all our past life is in the grip of death. And so, dear Lucilius, do what your letter says you are doing. Embrace every hour. If you lay hands on today, you will find you are less dependent on tomorrow. While you delay, life speeds on by. Everything we have belongs to others, Lucilius. Time alone is ours. Nature has put us in possession of this one thing, this fleeting, slippery thing, and anyone who wants to can dispossess us. Such is the foolishness of mortal beings. When they borrow the smallest, cheapest items, such as can easily be replaced, they acknowledge the debt, but no one considers himself indebted for taking up our time. Yet this is the one loan that even those who are grateful cannot repay. You ask, perhaps, what I am doing. I who give you these instructions. I'm a big spender, I freely admit, but a careful one. I have kept my accounts. I cannot say that nothing has been wasted, but at least I can say what and why and how. I can state the causes of my impoverishment. But it is with me, as with many others who have been reduced to penury through no fault of their own. Everyone forgives them, but no one comes to their assistance. What of it? A person is not poor, I think, as long as what little he has left is enough for him. Still, I prefer that you, for your part, conserve what you have, and make an early start, for in the words of our ancestors, thrift comes late when stocks are low. Not only is there very little left at the bottom of the jar, but its quality is the worst. Farewell. I think there are some interesting themes in this letter. There is, first of all, the theme of the passing of time. And an often quoted passage is that we are wrong to think that death lies ahead. Much of it has passed us by already. For all our past life is in the grip of death. Whatever you have done, whatever time has passed, you cannot get back. And although it may sound very morbid to consider life like that, in many ways I found it to be quite liberating. A lot of your dying is already done. Every day that you have lived is a day that you have died a little. It's over. That's gone. It will never come back. And as you grow older, you start to reflect on those kinds of things. What have I done? I've said this before, but for me, I'm 36 now, and I realized it was 18 years ago that I turned 18. It doesn't feel 18 years ago. It feels much, much shorter ago, right? Anyway, so that acceptance, death will come for you. There's nothing you can do. But a lot of your dying has been done already. In some ways, I think can be a liberating thought. A second important theme is that of be involved in what you do. Whatever it is you are doing, pay attention to that thing. Be mindful of what is going on. Sip of tea. Because by being mindful, you are in that moment. It's one of the last videos I did in Marcus Aurelius where I quoted one of the people I was taking training with, who said, keep your mind where your feet are, right? Be mindful of this present moment. By doing so, time will still pass by, because it always will. Time will not stop, it'll keep going. But then, when you are truly mindful of what you are doing, I think your mind is in the present. You're actively paying attention to what you do in everyday life. And I think that makes life a lot more interesting. A lot of people, and this is not a value judgment, I'm just saying, a lot of people come home from work, eat, watch TV all night, go to bed, get up, get to work, come home, eat, watch TV all night, etc. I'm not judging this, but what I'm saying is, often that is a fairly mindless behavior. You're kind of zoned out, you're just sort of sitting. And then ask yourself, I feel... Yeah. Yes, a sneeze. I'm sorry. Forgive me. So, what you do then, when you are not mindful, is letting all that time just pass by. And when that time passes by, you will never get that back. That's gone, right? It's gone. So make the most out of what you have. I'm recording this on a Saturday. And this morning I happened to wake up. It was 7 o'clock. I'm not really someone who sleeps in to begin with. But on the weekend, I don't know, 8 a.m. I like to wake up around 8. But I was just awake. I woke up, it was light out, it was raining a little bit. And I thought, you know what? I think I can't sleep anymore. I'm just going to get up. I drove to a wildlife sanctuary that I really like here. It's a little north of the city. And I had a walk, and it had kind of stopped raining, so it was just a bit humid, but it was quite nice out. It's September, and it was a wonderful walk. And at some point, there was a siren in the distance, and a whole bunch of coyotes started to howl along with it, and they were close by. I could hear. I couldn't see them, but the sound sounded really quite close. Now, had I stayed in bed, had I just slept or just lying there mindlessly scrolling through social media or something, I would have missed that. And I really enjoyed being there, being in that moment, being on that walk, hearing the animals, doing those kinds of things. So what I'm trying to say is, through paying attention, mindfully living, paying attention to what you are doing, I think you get a lot more out of life. And to paraphrase Socrates a little bit, you lead a life worth living. It's not mindless. It's not zoned out. It's not operating on sort of 70% cognitive capacity and just half-tuned out doing stuff. 100%. And it's hard to sustain. I mean, of course, sometimes you do want to do something mindless. Of course, right? That's human behavior. It's completely natural. But to pay attention to what you are doing, I think you improve your life. you get more out of life. That's what I think. What was the final thing that he wrote that I thought was interesting as well? A person is not poor, I think, as long as what little he has left is enough for him. Well, again, that's easy to say when you're a multimillionaire like Seneca was, but having said that, he did offer, by the way, near the end of his life to give everything to Nero so that he could just be away from the insane emperor, but Nero didn't accept that, and Seneca ended up slitting his own wrists on the emperor's orders, so it wasn't very happy. Anyway, I think that sentiment is a very nice one too, right? If you can be content with what you have, you can be very rich while owning very little. It's important, and I think it's an important sentiment. So I really like that thought. Okay, that's it for this week. I hope this was interesting. Please let me know if you enjoyed the going through these letters like this. Also, please let me know what you think of this approach of being mindful in what you're doing. And that's pretty much it. I hope these videos remain interesting, and I will gladly see you back next week where we go into the next letter. I'll see you then. Bye. L.